The People's Pope, How Pope Francis Revolutionized the Papacy. When Jorge Mario Bergoglio stepped out onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica on March 13, 2013, the world witnessed history. Not only was he the first pope from Latin America and the first Jesuit to hold the position, but he was also the first to take the name Francis, a nod to St. Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor. That alone sent a clear message: this would be a different kind of papacy. Pope Francis quickly earned the title the People's Pope not just because of where he came from, but because of how he leads. He chose humility over grandeur. He refused the luxurious papal apartments and opted to live in a modest guest house. He shunned fancy garments and rode in a Ford Focus instead of a limousine. Even in Rome, he was seen paying his own hotel bills and kissing the feet of prisoners. He became the embodiment of servant leadership. But beyond the optics, Pope Francis revolutionized the role of the Pope with his message of mercy, inclusion, and dialogue. He shifted the Church's tone from judgment to compassion, saying, "Who am I to judge?" when asked about gay priests and calling on the world to welcome migrants and the marginalized. Under his leadership, the Church emphasized action over doctrine, caring for the environment, confronting global poverty, and calling out the excesses of capitalism. He published Laudato Si', the groundbreaking encyclical on climate change, making the environment a moral and spiritual issue. He opened the door to discussions on celibacy, divorce, and LGBTQ+ inclusion, shaking centuries-old traditions. And despite opposition from conservatives, he remained steadfast, bringing the Church closer to the people it serves. Pope Francis did not just inherit the Church, he redefined it. In a world divided by politics, wealth, and belief, he reminded us that faith is not found in walls or robes, but in walking with the poor, listening to the hurting, and loving without condition. That is the legacy of the People's Pope.